Stop everything you are doing right now. I mean it. Put down whatever you are holding. Turn off the other tabs. Silence the notifications. Because in the next 3 seconds, you are going to feel something shift in your chest. And when you do, you will understand why heaven synchronized this exact moment for only 7 people worldwide to receive this message. And you are one of them. There it is. That flutter in your chest, that sudden heaviness in the air around you. Your guardian angel just broke through 7 years of spiritual interference to deliver something that has been locked in heaven's vault with your name on it since before you were born. This isn't coincidence. This isn't algorithm. This is divine interruption. And if you leave now, if you scroll past this moment, you will not get another chance like this for 7 more years. I know you felt it just now. That inexplicable shift, like someone just walked into the room even though you are alone.
Like the temperature changed even though nothing moved. That is because something massive just happened in the spiritual realm. Chains that have held your blessing hostage for 2,555 days just shattered. The prison doors holding your breakthrough just exploded open, and the forces that have suffocated your purpose are now losing their grip, trembling at the sound of what's awakening inside you. You have been seeing repeating numbers everywhere lately. Maybe 111 when you check the time, maybe 444 on license plates, maybe 777 in random places you cannot explain. You have been waking up between 3 and 4 a.m. almost every night, heart racing, not knowing why. You've had dreams you can't remember, only fragments, symbols, whispers, but you wake up knowing they meant something. They weren't random. They weren't your imagination. They were the first rumblings of heaven trying to reach you through the static of everyday life.
You see, sometimes heaven doesn't shout, it taps. A song lyric that repeats in your mind, a stranger's words that feel too personal, a number that keeps following you. Each one was an echo of this moment, preparing you for what was about to arrive. Let me tell you something about yourself that you don't even know yet. You are not ordinary. You never were. From the moment you took your first breath, the atmosphere recognized you. Something ancient moved when you cried for the first time. The air bent around your name. The stars aligned differently because you entered the timeline. Out of 8 billion souls, only 7 were tuned to this frequency today. Only 7 were strong enough to handle what is being revealed now. Only 7 had guardian spirits that petitioned heaven's throne for permission to deliver this message. And you are one of them. Your angel used their once-in-a-lifetime request to ensure you would see this.
They have been fighting for 7 years to get this message through, dodging interference, breaking through resistance, and tonight, they finally succeeded. But the forces that oppose this, they know what's coming. They have been working overtime to distract you. That sudden urge to check another tab, that random thought that you should get up and do something else, that ping from your phone, none of it is random. It's resistance. Because what's being said here is not just information, it's transformation. And the moment you let it all sink in, the atmosphere around your life will start rearranging itself to match what's being spoken. You've been exhausted lately, not just physically tired, but soul tired. That kind of tiredness that sleep can't fix, where you wake up already drained, where you smile and function, but something inside you feels like it's fading, where laughter doesn't reach your chest anymore, and silence feels heavier than it used to.
That exhaustion wasn't natural. You've been in a war you didn't know existed. Every night, while your body slept, your spirit was fighting battles you can't remember. Every morning, you woke up tired because your spirit returned from those unseen fields with scars you can't see. For 3 years, there has been a coordinated resistance against you. A resistance designed not to destroy you all at once, but to wear you down slowly, one disappointment at a time. That's why some people left without reason. That's why opportunities slipped through your fingers, even when you did everything right. That's why every time you thought you were finally breaking through, something inexplicable blocked the path. But none of it was wasted. None of it was random. Each setback was shaping you into someone that ordinary resistance couldn't break. Heaven watched as you kept believing even when logic said stop, as you kept giving when your hands were empty, as you kept loving after being betrayed, as you kept standing even when no one was clapping, and those moments were recorded. Every tear, every whisper, every hidden act of faith, all documented in the archives of light, the unseen realm where every act of endurance is counted as a currency. Yesterday, the scroll of your life was opened. Every theft, every delay, every heartbreak was reviewed before the throne of justice. And the decree was clear: the season of loss is over. The restoration begins now. But there's something even more important, heaven noted: the resilience of your heart. They saw how you carried others even while your own knees were shaking. They saw how you spoke hope while secretly trying not to fall apart. They saw how you refused to let bitterness take root, even when betrayal would have justified it. That's why what's happening right now is so rare. Because you didn't just survive, you stayed soft. You didn't just endure, you kept your light on. Do you realize how few souls manage that? Most grow cynical. Most give up. But you let pain refine you instead of define you. And heaven honors that in ways the world can't measure. You are not just another person scrolling through words. You are a carrier of something vast. Something that terrifies the dark. That's why resistance found you early. That's why you felt misplaced your whole life. Because you weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to shift things. Your body isn't just flesh and bone. It's a conduit, a vessel carrying frequencies that rewrite the atmosphere wherever you go. Your heart isn't just pumping blood. It's pulsing divine rhythm into matter. Your lungs aren't just breathing oxygen. They're harmonizing with unseen vibrations of creation. And your DNA is not junk. It's encrypted light. Each strand, a verse of a song the stars still hum. The codes dormant in you are waking as we speak, whispering instructions to your cells, reminding them what they are. Divine material temporarily walking in human form. You might feel tingling in your hands or warmth in your chest as you read this. That's not imagination. That's alignment. It's what happens when truth recognizes itself. Heaven is not coming to you. It's awakening within you. The vibration is rising. Your frequency is recalibrating to match the blueprint written for you before time began. And as that happens, everything false must fall away. Depression, anxiety, fear, shame, they are incompatible with the frequency now activating inside you. They dissolve in its presence. There's a reason it's happening now, not before. You weren't ready then. Your foundation had to be built first, through the storms, through the silence, through the seasons of nothingness. Heaven won't pour power into a heart that hasn't learned humility, and you have. That's why this isn't just another inspirational message. It's an initiation, a spiritual ignition sequence. Within 72 hours of this activation, you will begin to see the outer reflection of this inner shift. Things that resisted you will begin yielding. People who vanished may return, drawn back not by emotion, but by divine magnetism. Doors that remained locked will begin to creak open, not by force, but by resonance. Because now, your energy matches your destiny. But before you rush ahead, pause. Feel the air around you. There's density there, like the room itself is aware. That's the field adjusting. That's heaven and earth recalibrating to your frequency. Now, listen. Because this is important. Every number you've been seeing wasn't just a coincidence. Each was a note in the symphony of your awakening. When you saw 111, it wasn't random. It was creation's whisper saying, "Begin again." When you saw 222, alignment was forming behind the veil. When 333 appeared, the triad of body, mind, and spirit was being harmonized. When 444 came, armies of light were assembling on your behalf. When 555 showed up, transformation accelerated. When 777 arrived, completion began. And when 888 emerged, infinite newness was released. You weren't losing your mind. You were remembering it. Because the higher self, the divine essence you truly are, speaks in symbols, numbers, sensations, not in ordinary words. It had to find ways to slip through your rational defenses until now, when your spirit finally became quiet enough to listen. But the opposition knew this day would come. That's why everything went haywire recently. That's why emotions surged. That's why old memories resurfaced. It wasn't regression. It was purification. Everything buried was rising, so it could be cleared. You thought you were breaking down, but you were actually breaking open. And what's emerging now is the truest version of you, unfiltered, unafraid, and unstoppable. Everything that left you, people, chances, dreams, was never meant to stay at the level you were at. They were scaffolding, temporary structures built to help you reach a certain height, then removed so the masterpiece could stand on its own. Rejection was redirection. Loss was liberation. And endings were disguises for rebirth. The delays weren't denials, they were preparations. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was protection. Heaven's timing may feel slow, but it is always surgical, cutting away what would collapse under the weight of your calling. Right now, time itself is folding around you. Moments are converging. Things that were supposed to take years will begin unfolding in days. Because divine timing isn't measured by clocks, it's measured by readiness. And beloved, you are ready. The spirit of delay that shadowed you has lost jurisdiction. The patterns of self-sabotage are losing power. The energies that once fed on your doubt can no longer attach. This moment marks the turning point where spiritual law overrides natural law. What was once withheld begins to flow. What was once blocked begins to open. What was once denied begins to appear. But listen carefully. When the flow begins, you must stay anchored. Because abundance without awareness destroys. But abundance with awareness builds kingdoms. So stay grounded. Stay quiet when others rush. Move only when your peace moves. Because peace is heaven's compass. Breathe. Feel that pulse in your chest? That rhythm is not random. It's the signature of your divine blueprint syncing with its original frequency. Every beat is an instruction, an ancient code telling your cells to awaken, your mind to expand, your destiny to unfold. You've carried pain for too long. It has served its purpose. Now it dissolves. The weight you felt in your chest begins to lift. Not because circumstances changed yet, but because the vibration inside you finally did. And as within, so without. The light that's rising through your spine is not imagination. It's memory. It's the memory of what you were before fear, before disappointment, before you forgot. This is the moment heaven's breath meets human heart. The moment eternity inhales through you. And everything, every molecule of air, every flicker of light, every heartbeat, now conspires to remind you, you are not broken. You are becoming. You are not broken. You are becoming. And as that truth echoes through the chambers of your being, something ancient begins to stir. At first, it is subtle, a hum beneath your ribs, a low vibration like the distant song of creation remembering your name. Then it grows. The frequency climbs your spine, touches your throat, and your breath catches as light presses against every shadow you once called home. This is the renewal the stars whispered about when you were small. The same light that painted the dawn the day you were born has been waiting for permission to rise again inside you. And tonight, it does. Do you feel it? That faint electricity moving behind your eyes? That sense that reality just leaned closer? It's the field responding to you. It's the life that always wanted to live through you, not just around you. For years you have prayed for a sign, for confirmation that the storms meant something. Here it is, the quiet realization that you never needed saving from life. You only needed awakening to it. Every tear was a baptism. Every silence was a sermon. Every heartbreak was heaven's hammer reshaping your foundation. You thought you were being buried, but you were being planted. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being hidden until the soil could hold your roots. You thought the delay was cruelty, but it was mercy. The universe will not give you wings until it is sure you have learned how to fall without fear. Look back for a moment, not to mourn, but to understand. See the pattern. Every collapse brought clarity. Every loss carved space for something better. Even the loneliness had purpose. It taught you the difference between company and connection. Now, as light enters the places that once hurt, your story begins to rewrite itself from the inside out. Your scars start glowing like constellations. They are no longer proof of damage, but of divine endurance. You wear them as coordinates, guiding others who wander the same darkness you escaped. That is why you survived, not just to heal, but to become a lighthouse. You are proof that grace looks like persistence disguised as exhaustion. You are living evidence that even shattered vessels can pour light. The winds are shifting now. Can you hear it? That soft exhale through the unseen trees? It is the breath of destiny unclenching its fists. It is the sound of your timeline exhaling relief. The weight that pressed you into silence begins to lift. The fog that made you question everything thins until clarity pierces through. And what you see now is simple but sacred. Nothing was wasted. Not a minute, not a tear, not a single unanswered prayer. Everything converges here. Every thread of your past weaves into a single pattern, the design of a soul that refused to stay small. You begin to understand that divinity never left you. It was hidden in the laughter of strangers, the sunlight on ordinary mornings, the small acts of kindness that made you keep believing in goodness. You mistook them for coincidence. They were communion. And the voice you waited to hear from the heavens? It was never outside you. It speaks from within the quiet space behind your heartbeat, repeating the same simple phrase: you are enough. You always were. Take a breath. Let it travel deep. Past the noise, past the fears, past the echoes of what people said you could or couldn't be. Exhale everything that is no longer yours. You are standing at the edge of a new cycle, a new frequency, a new language of being. From here on, you walk differently. You speak differently. You attract differently. Because what radiates from you now is not need, but knowing. Not desperation, but direction. Not emptiness, but overflow. The world around you will feel it before they understand it. Some will be drawn closer. They will sense home in your energy. Others will step back. They will sense truth and not be ready to face their own reflection. Both responses are sacred. Do not chase, do not explain. Your light will do the talking. The air tastes different now. Have you noticed? It's cleaner, like the first breath after rain. That's what release feels like. That's the sound of invisible chains turning to dust. And somewhere beyond your comprehension, life begins rearranging itself to honor the vibration you just claimed. People start remembering your name. Opportunities that vanished begin circling back. Synchronicities multiply until coincidence is no longer a word you believe in. Because alignment doesn't need permission, it only needs recognition. And now, you recognize it. So keep breathing. Keep walking through the stillness like someone who has already arrived, because you have. You are the answered prayer of every version of yourself that came before, the child who dreamed, the adult who doubted, the soul who endured. They are all watching from the corridors of memory, smiling as you finally step into the space they longed for. This is what fulfillment sounds like. Silence after the storm, heartbeat steady, air sweet with possibility. You made it here, and that is the miracle. The storm has quieted. The horizon hums. Somewhere between one heartbeat and the next, the world tilts a fraction, and every thread of your life begins to move toward its rightful place. The silence after awakening isn't empty, it's pregnant. It carries the weight of 1,000 possibilities waiting for your first word to give them form. You stand at the center of a circle drawn by time itself. Everything you once called random aligns like stars returning to forgotten positions. You can almost feel the pull. Gentle, magnetic, inevitable. Destiny does not shout. It leans close and whispers, now. There is a rhythm beneath all things, and you are beginning to move with it. You notice how conversations arrive at perfect moments, how strangers carry messages they do not know they deliver. Even the wind seems to know your name. That is the language of purpose. The entire universe speaking in ordinary tones, telling you where to step next. For so long you searched for signs outside yourself. Now you realize the compass was never broken. It was buried beneath fear. Every instinct that once scared you is turning into guidance. Every doubt that once shouted you can't fades into silence as your inner voice learns to sing again. Listen carefully. Purpose does not arrive with trumpets. It unfolds like dawn. One ray at a time, it reveals only enough to keep you moving. If you saw the whole road, you'd run. If you saw nothing, you'd stop. So heaven gives you distance measured in trust, and trust, real trust, isn't passive. It's the quiet bravery of showing up when you don't yet understand why. It's saying yes before the evidence appears. It's walking toward the invisible because something inside you remembers the way. That memory is sacred. It is older than fear, older than failure. It is the original echo of the day the universe dreamed you into being. You were not created to chase approval. You were created to embody alignment. And alignment has a sound, peace that hums through your bones even when nothing makes sense. You begin to sense the pattern now. Every heartbreak was initiation. Every detour was training. Every waiting room was a classroom in disguise. You thought life was punishing you, but it was teaching you the dialect of divine timing. So when the next door opens, and it will, don't rush through it. Stand in the threshold for a moment. Feel the air of new beginnings on your skin. Say thank you, not for the door, but for the patience that built you strong enough to walk through it. Because purpose isn't a single event. It's the steady unfolding of everything you've become. It's in the way you speak kindly when no one is listening, in the way you refuse to give bitterness a home, in the way you keep choosing light even when darkness would be easier. That is your calling, manifesting through character. And now, the field around you responds. Opportunities will start to hum in resonance. People aligned with your next chapter will appear, not to complete you, but to collaborate with the wholeness you finally remember. You will recognize them instantly, not by appearance, but by peace. Their energy will feel like déjà vu, as if you've known them across lifetimes. Do not question the ease, you have earned it. Ease is not laziness, it is the reward of alignment. It is what happens when you stop forcing and start flowing. The same current that once dragged you now carries you. But with new flow comes new stewardship. The power awakening in you is creative. It shapes reality through focus. Guard your attention like sacred fire. Whatever you feed with thought grows. So think intentionally. Speak deliberately, move consciously. Let your words be seeds, not weapons. From this point on, nothing you say is casual. Every sentence is a spell of self-definition. Every thought is a brushstroke painting the atmosphere of your days. This is not pressure, it is privilege. You have graduated into conscious creation. Remember, humility is not pretending to be small, it is remembering the source that moves through you. You are a vessel of something vast. When you act, act with reverence. When you rest, rest without guilt. Both are holy. You will start to notice signs of acceleration, time bending in your favor, coincidences stacking like dominoes. Do not fear the speed, you were built for this. Just keep your heart steady. If ever confusion tries to return, close your eyes, place your hand over your chest, and listen for that rhythm again. It will tell you everything you need to know. Because that heartbeat is older than your name, and it carries the memory of completion. You are not chasing destiny. You are remembering it. Each breath draws you closer to the version of you that already exists beyond time, waving back, smiling, saying, "You made it."